It's Big Board Sports with Roger Wyland on 104.5 The Team.
Jason Pierre-Paul had sports hernia surgery today, I believe, this morning, and he's done for the year. Most likely, I guess, amid the Super Bowl or maybe the NFC Championship game, he possibly could be back, but very unlikely. We'll see JPP back this season. Paul Schwartz joins us, Giants beat writer, New York Post. Good morning, Paul. How are you?
Good, Roger. Just finished up a nice late-night session shooting free throws with Joe Cremo, so I should be good to go.
Yeah, Joe loves that. I believe if he misses a couple, he's going to be in the gym until somebody kicks him out. That's how Joe rolls.
When I mess up on a story, I spend the whole night rewriting it to get it right. So I feel his pain.
All right, your reaction to JPP. How big of a loss? Let's start here. How big of a loss is JPP to the Giants right now?
Huge, immense, devastating. I mean, it's a terrible loss. The Giants were hoping after that injury that rest and rehab could get it done in 2 or 3 weeks. But, he went to a specialist in Philly. Maybe the guy's an Eagles fan and he's giving him bad advice, but probably not. But they thought the most prudent thing was to go ahead with the surgery. He had it this morning in Philly. He's already done. He's already tweeted saying that he's feeling better. But this is a devastating blow. I mean, some people are saying 4 to 6 weeks. I'm hearing at least 6 weeks. So the regular season is over for JPP. And, to think he'd be ready for a first-round wild card playoff game, I think is extremely wishful thinking. So they're going to have to, put a big run together without their, one of their really, really tremendous defensive players.
Would you have him on the list of comeback player of the year awards?
Sure. I mean, no question. I don't, people, that's always kind of a weird deal as far as that award. Was Andrew Luck eligible for comeback player of the year? I guess so, yes, but I mean, the guy had half his hand blown off, came back last year and tried to play, was not that effective, and, was a real good player this year. And, this is unfortunate because this is going to cost him a lot of money. He's a free agent after this year, and, I think he was in line if he finished strong, finished with 10, 11 sacks and really finished strong, led the Giants into the playoffs with that defense. He was in line for a really big long-term deal. And, now that puts a lot of that in question because he's just not going to play. He's going to end up playing 12 games this year, and, that's going to reduce his value.
Paul, who slides in now at defensive end? Who can try to fill that gap here for the stretch run?
I wrote about this in today's New York Post. Your readers can see it either in the paper or on NewYorkPost.com. Kerry Wynn, I think, is first in line. He's a third-year guy from Richmond, which you guys know as far as a CAA player. He is from Richmond. He's undrafted, third year. Started 7 games last year when JPP was hurt and, was not, on the active roster. Steady guy, low-key guy, not a difference maker by any means. They have a rookie, Romeo Okwara from Notre Dame, undrafted guy. Played 30 snaps last week in Pittsburgh. Didn't do anything really. So, that's a wishful thinking kind of thing. And they have Owa Odigazawa, who is a second-year guy from UCLA who's got a bad knee. I don't even know if he'll play this week. He'll try to practice. He's been a disappointment. So, you're going to have 3 guys trying to fill the shoes of JPP. And together they won't be able to do it, and so the Giants are going to have to try to make up for that.
Paul Schwartz, New York Post, with us talking about JPP done for the year, most likely. But overall, Paul, how would you say the mindset is of this Giants team coming off that Steeler loss on Sunday and getting ready to take on the Cowboys?
I think it was okay. I mean, I think the big thing is, the offense is just really, really searching. They're just searching and searching. All year they have not been a consistent offense. They were very poor in Pittsburgh. I mean, really poor. Their only touchdown in the body of the game was on a 17-yard drive after a turnover, and then they scored a late touchdown with 26 seconds to go, which was meaningless. So, they were really bad, and it's shocking to everybody. We all know their offensive line isn't great. We all know their running backs aren't great, or their tight ends are marginal. But, this is a team with a lot of the same players, averaged more than 26 points a game last year, and this year they're struggling to reach 20, and they don't look like they're getting better. I mean, since Week 7, the Giants are only ahead of the Browns and the 49ers, I believe, as far as total offense, which is despicable. So, but having said that, with JPP, I thought they had a legitimate chance to knock off the Cowboys this week. Without him, I'm going to have to reassess and think about that. But I do think they are ready to play a good game Sunday night.
Paul, in the recent weeks when the Giants were rolling here on a 6-game win streak and the defense was playing well, we started to entertain the idea that this could potentially be a team that could make a run. But then you see them juxtaposed with a really good Steelers team, and then you lose JPP. Do you think that they've regressed towards the mean a little bit? Can we take them out of that conversation now, or do you think they're still in that breath of team who could potentially make a run?
Well, put it this way, Zach. They're 8-4, right? And they are going to be tooth and nail now to find 2 more wins. If they find 2 more wins and they're 10-6, unless something really bizarre happens, they will be in the playoffs. The way the NFC is shaping out this year, 10 is going to make it. I had serious reservations about their offense because we keep on waiting for the offense. Okay, it's going to come. It's going to this. We see some signs. They did rush for more than 100 yards in 3 straight games before, doing very little in Pittsburgh. But, this is not, this is a 12-game situation. This isn't a dip. All season their offense has not been good. So I think the offense is really holding them back. I think it's a defense that could certainly compete in the playoffs. It should be an offense with Eli and Odell and the guys that should be able to compete in the playoffs. But, I think if they make the playoffs this year, it's an accomplishment. I don't think anything after that is gravy. But right now, until I see this offense put up 28, 30 points, move the ball, look good, close out a team when they can, stuff they have not been able to do. They closed out the Bengals with a good 3-minute drive at the end of the game. But other than that, they have not been able to do that. So, I don't think you can look at them as a credible, dangerous playoff team if they make it until they show they can score some points.
Paul Schwartz reacting to the headline this morning, a live local A breaking, and JPP has already had the surgery in Philadelphia this morning, most likely done for the year, and the Giants will have to try and figure it out defensively for the rest of this season, and we'll see if they can beat the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday night at MetLife. And you're not making a prediction on that game just yet.
Well, I'm not, but I might pick the Giants to win, and people who follow me, would be shocked by that because I don't pick them all the time. But it has nothing to do with winning or losing or rooting or not rooting. It's just the way I feel. Sometimes I just I think the Cowboys are not going to finish this year 15-1. I think the Giants are desperate. I know they're desperate right now. The Cowboys are not. They're playing great. They have 10 days off, which is troubling because they were. They're getting some guys healthy. There's no real reason to pick the Giants, but like I said, I just think maybe the Cowboys are due for a little bit of a lull. The Giants will be home in a night game. It'll be cold. I think the Giants have a puncher's chance in this game. I really do.
Paul Schwartz, always a pleasure, man. Keep up the great work. Thanks for coming on. A little impromptu this morning reacting to our top story.
Yeah, thank you. How's the Great Danes against Marist tonight? They're going to win this game? They're going to defend the 3 and
should win. A little you all been a little banged up tonight. Travis Charles might not be able to go. Could have a torn meniscus. That'll hurt him on the front court for sure. But a game that I think at the home court tonight, they should be able to snap their 2-game losing skid.
Let's just tell Will Brown, defend the 3 and shoot the 3 better. They'll be fine, right?
There you go. I'll pass that along.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Paul Schwartz, New York Post Giants beat writer on JPP.